We'll be a minute late on that, but that's a-okay. All right. So this is round 2. I skipped round 1 because I had to eat food, but I will be covering rounds 2 and 3 for the remainder of the night. And hopefully, we'll see things go a little bit quicker because there are less players on the NA branch. Otherwise, we have a new multi, and I hope you all enjoy this operation. So, it is going to be Op4 with 545 based AKs and a little bit of a creative kit here. We have the Iraqi Desert Camo, as it's known from RHS, with some basic helmets here, but that's going to blend in quite well with the desert. They've got 2 BTR 70s, and that is it. Otherwise, it is mostly infantry, but we see RPG 32s. We got some PSO marksman scopes. Vargran is commanding this round. Snow Owl is going to be... Actually, excuse me, Night Owl is leading the X-Ray group here. Snow Owl is going to be the 2IC Grenadier. We've got Lolo and Drago. Actually, no, it's just going to be Lolo taking a suppressed weapon. And Drago is going to be the sniper. And for Sharpur, the sniper is going to be incredibly important here. We can hear these guys talking locally about the last round. Otherwise, Alpha is going to be led by Schnuffles, Zoni and Artisan also under him. Mito, Siny, Lurch, or is it Cine? Probably Cine. Cine, Lurch, Aussie Wookie, and Oddball, with Space Cowboy Carl fielding the second PKP gunner. So we have a PKM and a PKP in this squad. Captain Dreek taking Bravo HQ, and we have Brennan, Cosmonaut Miller, Green Shade Fist, and Cool Breeze. Under Bravo 1, Bravo 2 has Warwick, Wiki, Poe, and Martin, all from, I believe, the 29th ID. Nuclear Moose, Naders, and Rafter taking Charlie, with Ryvek also being in Charlie as a small team. There are no more than 60 people on the server, so these are going to be like 35v25s. Probably not that high of a ratio, but it's going to be, you know, around the 30v30 mark, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, Green 4 appear to be a mix of insurgency loadouts here, so various headgear, shemags, helmets, and a nice green camo. And they appear to be making a human tower centipede, whatever. They have 2 static Dishkas, which are 50-round, 12.7 anti-material machine guns, big rounds. And they have an off-road M2, which has a 100-round magazine, 50 cal gun, which can penetrate those BTRs. Now, leading that group is going to be Patriot. And then you've got Pierce, Racket, and Bert taking X-Ray. I would assume Pierce is a sniper. Yep, he's got a 338 Lapua there. And he is part of 1RW, and 2 other members of 1RW are taking X-Ray. Alpha being led by Jib Style, Maz, Ghoster, G-Legs, Phoenix, Spiky, Gamma, Olaf, Bacon, and Chills. Basically, members of AA taking under Alpha. Bravo has Nielsen and T4 Herb, and as well as more members of the 29th ID, which I might have been wrong about these guys. No, these guys are not 29th ID. They're from a different group. My bad. They've got the real members of the 29th ID, including Norris, and then Not Bay and Dooley on Green 4 with Bald Eagle, Skipper, and Chow. So overall, low numbers-wise, it just makes those heavy hitter players all that more powerful. So on Op 4, I don't see anyone noteworthy in that regard. We do have some familiar names, though, like Vargrant, Night Owl, Martin, Wiki, Warwick, Nuclear Moose. I think they could all do quite well. We might see a new hero arise within Op 4, but on Green 4, we have some well-known names. We got Norris, we've got Not Bay, also known as T5 Bay, and Dooley. So I'll be curious to see what they do, but I mean, Op 4 has about a full-page roster here. Green 4 has a little less. Op 4 might as well have I think that's a 7 or 8 player number advantage there. So we'll just have to see how things play out. Green 4 having to defend 3 zones here is going to be a bit of a tough call because they have such a limited number of players. I think Green 4's best bet is to pick 1 zone and cover it. Now, what should that zone be? In my opinion, Green 4 should look at covering Sector 3. The reason for that is all around it is massive open area. And even though Sector 3 is this little shed area here, It's got great overwatch from a perimetered area on the side. It's got all these open areas that can be locked down. Green 4 can build some fortifications around it. And they can just capitalize on all this open area because it's going to be like a 25 to 35, more around a 27 v 34, 33. Because, again, about a 7-player number advantage. But those numbers are going to go into the BTRs. You want to just pick a zone, capitalize on that open area, and camp the heck out of it. So I would recommend they take Sector 3 because they can fortify it with Fortify tools and just lock that down. Now, Sector 1 would be my next pick. But this is a very open area, and the one issue that you're conceding is Op4 can get on this little hill build up here, all around the sector, really, and then fire into it from range, and that gives their sniper a lot of room to work with, and you want to try to avoid that, especially with a lower numbered area here. And then, of course, Sector 2, which, you know, it's nice. It's got some custom-built fortifications on it, cool, but I mean, the CQC style of things can run right up to it, so it can get very, very messy very quickly. But it looks like Green 4 is going to go for potentially all 3 with how they've divided their units. I don't necessarily agree with that because that means Op4 can just come in and steamroll them point after point, but we'll just have to see how well they do on that PvP aspect because that's what this is all about anyway. And there I am hydrating for you guys. So we got some wrecked vehicles up here. Got that little HQ area. I mean, it's Sharpur. It's a very small map. The last time this area was done, it was a 3-sector fight. It came down to this sector down here, but the defenders were able to hold it because Op4 just got caught in open areas and torn apart. So I'd love to see that recreated with this northern sector, but I think they're spreading themselves a little too thin. All Op4 has to do is to get a foothold and get to these buildings. They should be able to push. Last time it happened, they kind of got stuck in this military base, and then they were picked off by defenders that had these buildings taken. And that open area between the, the buildings and where the attacking faction was able to get to was just purely locked down. The only reason they lost a sector was because Op4 did a massive flank around outside of the map, made it to the top sector, broke in, and that made them fold off of here to go into that one area. But they still lost because they just recapitalized on all the open area. No special hydrate. I am not getting drunk. I'm too tired for that. I love that I've been seeing this bunker come up more and more, too. It's one of their custom compositions that we're now seeing in round after round of FNF, which it's nice to see stuff like that arise. Now, the 2 players I'm going to be watching, not like a hawk, but I will occasionally be checking up on, is Pierce. That threw me off, his chewing.
I'm doing Fiska.
So we're in the TFAR channel so we can listen to them because I don't have any co-host here. But he's got 2 suppressed shooters with him. And we're also going to be watching Drago and his group because I want to see what the snipers are able to pull here tonight. AA is on Green 4. They're the defendant faction. Got a pretty big number with him. At least I think this is AA. Could be wrong. Just have to see what they pull. I think the 2 BTRs are going to be really, really helpful for Op4 to make their spearhead into this territory, but beyond that, not really. I could see the off-road running circles around them and taking them both out if they're used in open areas. I'd imagine that off-road might also want to be immediately on the western side of this AO to immediately push in and start running circles around Op4 spawn, because that off-road is going to have one of 2 opportunities open for itself if it decides to make a rush play. Number 1, it's going to find the 2 BTRs loaded with all the infantry trying to transport, or it's going to find a big blob of infantry trying to go on foot, either of which are a great target for that off-road to engage because it has the 100-round 50 cal on the back. And with its mobility, it can evade fire and fire from range just to saturate an area, which again, if you're trying to engage a big target like a BTR that's loaded with people, great target. If you're trying to engage a big blob of infantry, great target. It slows the infantry down, it will mess with Op4's number advantage, and give Green 4 an early head start into this mission. But this is one of the few scenarios that greatly favors the defenders just because of the size of this scenario. I would argue the same thing if there was some custom composition build up on Proving Grounds, for example. Which it's called Proving Grounds, I just call it Proving Grounds, but that one's a little more even though, because normally you don't see a massive build up like this. You don't have these massive perimeters here that can easily be capitalized on. But, you know, there's a will, there's a way. Now, if I was Op4, I would make a literal beeline on the BTRs to that military base, because that is going to be my in. From there, you know, we have some perimeters. We need to use one of the BTRs to knock over one of these walls, toss a bunch of smokes here and here, and then we can get our forces in. I would keep the marksman with the squad and just use it when we get a foothold, because you do not want to be caught in any of these open areas. You want to completely minimize the amount of time you go into these open areas. The only reason I want us to stop at the military base, though, is if Green 4 wants to put a proactive defense down, they are more than likely going to try to rush this position. So you want to rush getting to this wall, hitting it with your BTR to open it, pushing your forces in, have your BTRs lock down any units that might appear on those two, the mud huts, and then just smoke charge your way in, and then this is your foothold. And then from here, you have a lot of room, and you have a lot of fortifications of your own to then push into the objectives themselves. I would start with this one sector up here. What you got to do is smoke this area, or you can get behind Shapur 2, and you can then follow the buildings through and get right on top of this objective. I would say the only one you have to be worried about is the northern one at this point, because that has the next open area that's risky. This one is not too bad. You can just smoke this one spot and push through, get right on the edge and keep breaching. And because, again, it's a limited amount of players, you don't have to worry about putting so many guys on a narrow route, because you don't have that so many guys problem to deal with. Because if you have so many guys, that also means your opponent has so many guys, which means more eyes looking at different angles to engage your assault vector. So it should work out. But like I said earlier, probably while people were still tuning in, I would have just held Sector 3, capitalized on that open area, maybe had some harassing forces at Sector 2, but otherwise locked 3 down completely. 1 is just too much for the entire group to hold, plus with the encompassing hills and the 2 BTRs that could come up. It's too much of a risk in my opinion, but Green 4 needs to send that off-road early, and I think that's exactly what they're doing here. We're going to see Platoon drive it himself. Who is his gunner here? It's going to be G-Legs. All right, I can see G-Legs, the blind gunner. Is he still wearing his blindfold? Yes, he is. This is going to be a very good combo, and I think potentially show some oversight of the map mission development. Now, I do see that both of these BTRs are being loaded with infantry. I would think G-Legs is going to play the cautious route since he's already angled at about a 30-degree angle from left to top. So he might do something like this. In his shoes, though, I would just be ready to beeline this direction. Because, I mean, worst case worst, you get shot to death here, but at least you then know they're coming from this angle and you can bring forces over to then reinforce that side. So even in your death, you know where they're coming from. So it's worth that little bit of extra risk, because right now you're racing the clock to actually engage these guys, and they're going to potentially make that play. No, you don't want to put all your forces up here. It's open ground. And there's not a lot of cover up here, and you're fighting positions that have cover. Oh, that's one of the misplays a lot of people would make in this scenario. Because they see the hills and they think, oh, you know, that'll give me a good height advantage. But it's very open, and it just takes a sniper and some suppressed dudes to completely maim that scenario. And they have X-Ray going off as their own element as well. I think because of the lack of players, commanders really need to keep their forces together. But the reason FNF does that is because X-Ray usually is supposed to be its own element going out. So I'll be curious to see if this guy decides to open up. Gunner's not even... They're not even speaking right now. Did he miss him? BTRs are charging right in. Did no one have AT prepped on this angle? Chills is planting explosives, but... Okay, big misplay by the off-road. I think it's coming in now, but now the BTRs are... They were using it as a, I guess, a watch element in case there was an elaborate flank on the left? What? All right, so at least right here, you're going to start seeing a massive flank with these, with the sniper and the two suppress shooters. This is where they're going to be able to pull off a lot of work. And the shooting of the heavy guns. These three X-Ray players are in a really good position. Space Cowboy Carl's trying to turn around and potentially sight targets here. That off-road, though, needs to start engaging stuff that he can see. All right, he's going for the BTRs first. Not a bad call there. But that driver needs to get ready to pull away. So they need to reload a fresh box. Chill's now running down. Green Shade getting the kill there. And now we can hear him in the comms, so I gotta mute myself. So Op4 have only lost a handful of units. Looks like X-Ray is pulling back to reposition. And now you see the rest of Green 4 getting on Overwatch positions to try to flank. And this off-road is going to continue to try to do surgical strikes with any remaining forces. AT goes in, takes out one of the BTRs. And another BTR is swinging around to the north. It's got +3, which means it has 1 or 2 people it's going to dismount. They're going to snipe Sector 3, and they're going to snipe Sector 2 at this rate. Green 4 potentially realizing this mistake. They might have spotted the BTR on the horizon. They're already heading back to the other sector. As Op4 continues to push into this sector, that BTR doing its new cook-off animations from Ace. And this off-road now coming along a different angle, trying to snipe at who they can. Manages to get a kill, manages to take out the building. 2 kills. And takes a lot of return fire from 3 different angles, and they are immediately pulling back. G-Legs bending down to lower his target profile, so he has less area to be hit on by bullets. That's a pretty good call there, in my opinion. Op4 X-Ray close to Green 4 X-Ray. Op4 X-Ray has not noticed them, though. They are too busy looking on the right. As a surgical strike team, but I can understand why they did that. Meanwhile, the Vic immediately folding back because they have some eyes looking back at them, but it has done its job, taking out additional players here. And now it's going to be up to Green 4 here to hold this line. We have Bart and Phoenix being engaged from Platoon HQ and his 2IC up on this ridge. But let's see if Green 4 can keep the rest of these Op4 guys locked down. Meanwhile, Op4 has deployed over in the depot over here as the 50 cal Humvee is following them. Few stray shots all the way from the compound there. They're gonna potentially find this other BTR. Yes, they do. But the BTR was waiting for them. So they're quickly trying to use their maneuverability, but the gunner is taken out. Driver now quickly, nope, the driver is dead too. Both of them were taken out because the BTR was looking at the right direction, possibly coordinating with the forces on the other attack front to state, hey, the off-road is coming in your direction. And now these 2 guys might be able to steal that vehicle if they stop shooting. So that has potentially given Op4 that asset if they choose to use it. Numbers-wise, it's looking a bit tough. Looks like Green 4 is able to turn around and start engaging Op4 X-Ray. We have some suppressed shooters going off here. Shame we can't see kill counts right now. That is still busted, unfortunately, with the new Ace update. Excuse me, Arma update. Otherwise, Snow Owl's trying to limp to cover here. As he is still engaged, gets hit 2 more times. For whatever reason in Arma, when you put a suppressor on your gun, it does less damage. Bacon Flavor coming around, picking off 2 Op4 members. Probably uses primary on this guy, secondary on that guy because he had to switch to his handgun. But otherwise, this Op4 attack is starting to slow down. Now you're starting to see more Green 4 than Op4 in this attack wave. Even if Op4 is able to overpower this this force, they got a big Green 4 force right here too. X-Ray, I think, was being sent around to just start whittling this down. But again, a costly rush has done a lot of damage on Op4's morale as well as their number counts. They've definitely slowed down here. They're acting a lot more tactical, trying to thoroughly clear this compound. They've got forces in the sector. They just have to wipe the remaining Green 4 forces here. I don't know, Romulus. I have people that argue with me saying that suppressors don't lower muzzle velocity, but, you know, some say that it is. It's a toss-up. I just state what the game does and nothing else at this point. So you've got Poe trying to engage some Green 4 elements all the way out here. That's forced them to kind of fold back into the building here. And this X-Ray team has done a great job of harassing both flanks, scoring a few kills between them. Vagrant, meanwhile, he has gotten back into this BTR. Now that it's stopped cooking off, he's using it as a command vehicle despite it being flamed out. Green 4 at Sector 1 are down to 4 players. They're still outnumbered. But Op4's attack has definitely ceased for the time being as they try to reposition. Now you have a Dishka down on the other sector. It's being utilized by Norris, and he is pretty much saturating this area with fire, denying Op4 the ability to move by. We got Wiki here. He's trying to poke over the head to see if this is a good idea to get on this structure to then fire back. I would not recommend it. It's a little too open for my taste. See, if they want to be smart, they could come up here, and they could follow this route in, and then dismount right there. That might expose them, though, but that would at least give them an in. Bacon Flavor trying to lock down a corner here. Oh, I didn't even notice there was a third body right there. Great job by Bacon. Might catch Martin out of position, but no, he decides to move at the same time. Martin spots him. Bacon is dead. Martin got a few headshots with that PKP. Jib style, meanwhile, he's getting shot at by Sergeant Miller. I don't see any blood under here, so he wasn't hit. Not yet, at least. And now it's up to Spiky and Jib. And I think Norris put some shots on Jib, thinking he was enemy. AT was just heard. It was launched up here. For what reason, I don't know. They didn't commandeer that off-road. Possibly the engine was shot out, or it had a fuel leak, or they just opted not to take it. Miller, meanwhile, comes around, but I believe Jib was able to knock him unconscious. It is up to Spiky and Jib to take out as many players as they can here to weaken the attack further. We still have an Op4 player close by at Green 4 X-Ray. Vagrant trying to push in now. Spiky has a really good position up here. I would, if I were in her shoes, just stay up there. But look, you got 3 Green 4 guys died up here. They tried to make a perimeter here. And he's checking bodies. Jib now going out of the zone. Vagrant double tapping all those. Spiky doesn't react to those shots. And now you've got Wiki who's come up here. Both snipers are still alive, so there's still a good chance because sniping in this AO would be perfect. AT being fired up to that building. And Jib holding the corner. Prone on that wall. That's a really bad spot to be in because he can be flanked 6 ways to Sunday. Vagrant getting headshotted by Wiki. Otherwise, the attackers have rushed and taken 3 of those 2 guys that were dismounted. Oh, Wiki, you sly dog. You shot your commander. And Mobile X, who was up there, got taken out by Pierce in what is potentially a pistol battle because both of them had their handguns out. So Op4, okay, Vagrant wakes back up, immediately gets into cover because he doesn't know if what tapped him was a friendly or an enemy. Wiki back to looking at the remaining sector under heavy green 4 control. And yeah, as I predicted, Jib would be taken out here. We do see some blood, and it looks like he was taken out right there, unfortunately. Probably by Cosmonaut in green shade. So it's just up to Spiky to corner camp at this point. Wrong button, I do apologize. But Op4 doesn't know where Spiky is in this sector, so it might take them a hot second to do it. Meanwhile, they have to start their attack on the next sector back there. This could be a quick round, but I think we're going to see it get drawn out. Now, I could see Op4 X-Ray breaching this sector and doing a lot of damage. They've got a suppress shooter. Is that also a suppressor? No. So they've got 4 dudes with AK-74s. 1 is suppressed, but 2 have UGLs, so they can do a lot of shock damage with that GP25 system on 2 of their weapons for some really nasty close-range HE, which would be really, really good in breaching and clearing buildings from ranged. So if they could get back behind the sector and take this building, for example, that would be their best call. We just heard a bullet whiz by. Now, it is important to note, though, we've got some pretty hardcore players here. We got Norris and Dooley. I don't see... Yep, there's Not Bay. Yep. Very, very good players. Looks like Drago was the sniper. He got shot or something because he's bleeding right now. Got a long-range HE shot. That was from a UGL that just landed. And these 4 guys were spotted trying to cross. Immediately, they're trying to fire at the swords, but with those loud guns, you're going to start seeing green 4 turn around. Oh, these guys might be in trouble. They're doing their best to try to smoke their advance. Night Owl and Twins are caught out in the open, trying to suppress where those bullets are coming from. Owl is crippled. And they're desperately trying to fire UGLs out. Grenades are being thrown, but it looks like all 4 are going to make it. Twins now breaching that compound, just checking back here. Spiky hasn't moved a muscle. And Op4 have 3 out of the 4 that have breached, and Fred is staying back to bandage. Not Bay's gonna start cleaning house. And here is the Not Bay house service. 3 people cleaned free of charge. When I mention people like Not Bay, this is what I'm talking about. 1 man can completely wipe an attack away. We still got Fred out there, but here's Not Bay loading a fresh PKP belt, ready to go. And there is one of Op4's most important lines of units now wiped. X-Ray's down to just Fred, who I believe just has a standard AK-74. Yep, he's pulling back. And then Drago, the sniper, he might be able to find an angle, but he's clearing with his pistol, which means he thinks he might run into forces at close range here. Meanwhile, Vagrant finds Spiky, and Spiky shows Vagrant where Spiky is. And now there's some fire going out up here as they get confused, but there goes Op4 ground command. More like housekeeping. House sweeping, man, that's the joke. Let me write down the timestamp of Vagrant's unfortunate demise. And let's keep the mission going, shall we? So Fred has pulled back here to bandage a little bit more. Drago could find a good sniper position from this building. Yeah, no, that's good. Might try to find an angle on Sholand. But he has to wait for him to kind of put himself out. Like there, right there. Ooh! Ho, ho, ho! Drago, my man. Shot in the back. That was a great keyhole. Spiky's still going to hold this corner. So that's going to deny Op4 the ability to capture that sector and send the rest of their forces until they find her. But we're starting to see some suppression from this sector come in. If Drago can take out a few more people from that building and find those keyholes, I think Drago will be in a good spot, but he's going to abandon this position. I don't agree with that. I think he should have used this window a little bit more, unless he was being suppressed. We do see Bay looking out in this angle. He might have heard something. But otherwise, we'll have to see. Drago's being a little too cautious as he goes through these open areas. I think he's going to be picked off when he's back here. Meanwhile, Fred has gone up here. He's prone now to try to give himself some defilade cover based off of the angle being that far back. But it could swing either way. Numbers looking a little lighter, but X-Ray for Green 4. They've been some really effective shock troops here. We could see that turn around. Like I said earlier, snipers are going to be really important for this scenario. Why is Pierce firing into his own sector? Meanwhile, we got Bert back here trying to find an angle on Fred. Just put a sniper bullet over his head. But Fred is still okay. He's staying low, and he might be fine for now. You know, I haven't really seen this BTR utilized that much. I've just been seeing it drive around on the north. At this rate, it needs to find a good angle to just start spraying that building down with 14.5 millimeter. I'd love to see Green Shade, like, ace enhanced move, enhanced movement off of that, get there, and then find Spiky in the corner. That'd be so funny. Spiky doesn't have to be concerned about that BTR until the gun actually starts looking in her direction, but I think it's too busy looking at the angle here. Drago, that's not a good spot for you to be, buddy. It's really open. Fred receiving some more pot shots. They just need that 12.7 to tear into that building, in all honesty. Spiky with the corner, holding that sector down. I'm not going to be able to hear people because I muted myself, but yeah, no, I can imagine she can hear the people on yelling around her, so she's just laying low. But if you guys want to see it, just do exclamation point multi. Spiky's POV, like many others, are on the chat, the multi. Bay is stuck in there. Banks is going to try to get him out. Bay wakes back up from his nap. How he got in that position, I don't know. I think he armored himself. Explosive trap goes off. Spiky poking her head up as grenades start going off above her. I don't know where that HE round came from. See, I love how we had this static right here, but the Vic still came in. The static wasn't paying attention, or they just came at a perfect angle where it was in one of the static's blind spots. All right, Drago helping Fred bandage. Fred's been hit so many times, I doubt he's going to wake up if he gets shot again, to be perfectly honest. Because neither of them are... Wait, no, Fred's a medic. Okay, never mind. Fred's fine. I mean, Spike already killed ground command. I mean, if it's a good corner, it's a good corner. They could use the BTR and scan the top of that building, but they've been too busy fighting the other sector to properly breach and clear everything. Shots going by as suppressive MG shots head up into this building. They are returning fire. Ooh, we got some Green 4 guys coming around on the rear here. I think they've been tracking these two. Pierce has gone to a magnified AK with a PSO sight instead. Blood gag over. I think Martin knows something's up. I think, did Martin see something on that corner? Doesn't look like he's honing in on it. I think he looked up there and didn't see anything, went, oh, it's fine. Hold up. What's Martin doing? What the Martin doing? Martin doing? Yeah, they know something's up. They're firing GL up there. I think the gig is up for Spiky. Green Shade trying to open that door. It's a cereal box. Now he's trying to jump up there as he is shot at and forced to go back downstairs. Oh, that's funny. Oh, meanwhile, X-Ray for Green 4 found Fred and Drago and eliminated both of them. Fred could still wake back up, but Drago, I believe, is deado. I don't see him. Yeah, the main way up here is covered by the other sector, and if someone tries to come with the ladder, she'll just blow her head off. Blow their head off, excuse me. I would say the best way to do it is to climb up here, then enhance movement to here by basically vaulting it. It will then make you fall. You spam the spacebar, they'll let you climb onto this, and then just peer that corner. They will never see that coming, because they never think about that until it actually happens to them. So they have a stolen Dishka, and now they're suppressing down this route. We still have plenty of time in this round, but it is favoring Green 4 more and more as Op4 get their numbers whittled down. I don't know if they have radio comms with Spiky. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Martin's climbing up the ladder. Martin doing the climb, and Spiky misses the shot. Spiky, push, push, push Spiky. Spiky. Get that BTR to back up, like all the way over there, then you'll be able to see Spiky. Ooh, they could climb up, get in this corner, and they'd be able to hit her. That's the play they're gonna have to make. They just have to climb up the stairwell. Up the stairwell. Little lag spike there. Nasty. I have no idea what just happened or why we're getting that lag spike, but okay. Rest in peace, my frames. Here we go, Poe. Poe is glitching out. Pull your gun left. You can't camp forever, kids. Unless it's a building with only one way up and no way to overwatch the top of that building, in which case you can camp forever. That's happened a few FNF rounds, but Spiky's number was up. There's Boar's body, and they have his T5000. We'll see what they do with it. All right, let's do a quick head count. We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on Op4. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 11-11. Am I missing any outliers? I don't think so. Did I count that guy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. Even numbers. But Green 4 don't have to attack. They have to bait Op 4 to come in. This is where things can get dangerous. We're going to see a lot of long-range shooting, because that's where it's going to fall on. Ooh! Ouch! They do have a medic, but... God damn it, Roar. Trying to shoot at Poe on the ladder. At this rate, I think a solo player going up to the enemy position and just trying to kill as much as he can might be Op4's best call. We're going to have to see if Cindy's able to pull something like that off, but... There's just a lot here. You got Bert with a sniper, who just got 2 tapped. And then they have the other sniper, which Racket's stolen. Oddball's back up. Yeah, they're loading up in the BTR. This could still be clutched. Does anyone on green 4 still have AT? We got Eagle with an RPG, so yes. But he's the only one. I think a BTR rush is not a good idea, but I mean, the BTR rush is what got them here. Might as well have them end it there. Bert's still opting the bandage. Just as Cine pushes up. Great luck by Cine there. Here's Pierce. Pierce heard something. Pierce is concerned. Pierce starts looking down the stairs. Pierce then goes out here, checks the window, doesn't see anything, and listens for footsteps. Cine hears footsteps. Cine hears Pierce's footsteps. Pierce knows he heard something. Pierce frantically checks outside. Where did those footsteps come from, he ponders, as Cine keeps eyes on that door, knowing that he heard something as well. All as the BTR does a massive push to the south and is going to try to advance on this one angle. Gunshots fill the air. They're sporadic and only one at a time. And we have Bert. Bert's a sniper. He's watching this angle, and he's still bandaging. Cine then finds Pierce. Pierce is unfortunately executed. At the cost of Cine's legs, which he quickly tries to bandage. Liru's Christmas Story. A Christmas Carol with Liru, featuring Friday Night Fights. Alright, in all seriousness, Op4 repositioning those forces, suppressing from afar. Are they trying to shoot at Bird, or are they just shooting at weird stuff? I think Green Shade just had a shot go past him. Some smokes are being fired to obscure their vision. Not a bad call. I'm waiting to see if Bert's going to turn. Yep, he hears that BTR. And where there's a BTR, there's probably enemy infantry for Bert to shoot. Sydney is now corner camping. I need to get sweet voice actor. I don't think my voice would be something people are looking for. I'm just your everyday fat kid with a green robe on. I mean, there's nothing too special about that. Brothers Grimm Fairy Tales. Yeah, I know. I know. That's pretty damn dark. All right. Bert throws a smoke. Unfortunately, he didn't throw it too far up, and he just smoked his own position, which prompted Op4 to immediately start shooting at it. Ah, all part of the plan, said Bert, as he now tries to crawl down the little thing of wood like a snake and hops off the rooftop, because that's how that works. Meanwhile, Banks and Cinny, I think, have found each other. Cinny is now looking for Banks. I think Cinny spotted Banks. He put some shots on Banks, but none of them hit, unfortunately. Banks is now aware of Cinny. A rocket goes by, hitting the building that most of Green 4 is in. It's not too effective, however. Meanwhile, Bert is now on the ground, looking for people to snipe. He thinks he's lined up a shot. But it's actually just an abandoned car. Another sniper shot goes out. That one, I believe, is by Racket, who's stolen Op4's sniper rifle. And the remaining Op4 forces are starting to put smoke out to join up with Cinny. We also have Green Shade coming in. Eagle is on his own. He's the remaining AT guy. He might be taken out, and then that BTR could be home free. Something comforting knowing I'm just like the rest of you. Yeah, we're all human, man. Nothing different about that. It's not like I'm a lizard, dude. Ah! Why would I be a lizard? Or a turtle. Definitely not a turtle. You know what? I'm actually 100% human. True story. Anyway. I think the static guns might be out of ammo, or the gunners are just dead. So that BTR, even though it's playing incredibly defensively, might still be able to get away with a few things. Exactly what a turtle would say? Well, you have no proof that I am a turtle. All right, Cindy's joined up with the rest of the infantry here. Green Shade is trying to stealth up with his gun on his back. That's pretty funny. Where did Bert go? He folded back into this building. All right, so Green 4 is now going to have to fight for their life for controlling this structure. How do you even get into this little bunker? I guess from, like, right there? That's a cool spot. I'm just going to assume that BTR has none of its ammo left. Now, Bert's trying to hit Poe, but I think he's overranging the shots. Explosives go off, but they're ineffective. And that 12.7 starts tearing into this building. Exactly what he needed to be doing from the get-go. Thankfully, there are some sandbags here that they can use to block those bullets. And Eagle is going to get himself a vehicle kill. So as there's distracting fire up there, that's going to give Eagle an opportunity to take out that BTR. But the BTR is going quite fast. And Eagle gets a nice tail hit on it. That kills the engine. And McKee is jumping around in excitement as he is now in a building? Knocks Artisan to his feet. Artisan quickly rolls away. Second RPG misses. And one of those hits of his head. Ironically, Eagle missed the second shot when it was a static target, but when it was moving, he was able to hit it. Huh. All right, that's made the number advantage around the even mark again. Except Cosmonaut sniping, or was that Nazadar? It was Nazadar. He just shot some poor unfortunate sap on this tower. And let's do a quick number check again. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 versus... Oh, 9, excuse me, versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Now it's leaning in Op4's favor. Because I doubt Zony's going to wake back up. Aussie Wookie running in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. I'm not sure if these are invincible. They are invincible, otherwise they would have taken damage. So, ouch. Aussie Wookie decides this building won't be invincible, and Bert's like, what was that mysterious beeping noise? Oh. Well, at least Bert's still alive. Wiki now runs up. Bert's gonna run out the back. He's covering the door. Wiki's not checking his corner. Except Bert forgot how angles work. Rest in peace, Bert. Rest in peace. What the heck was that? Remember, kids, when you're trying to kill someone with your gun, you have to aim the muzzle at the target. Because if you don't, you're not gonna hit him. He didn't hit Wiki at all. There's no blood right here. That blood right there is from that grenade that was thrown. So he didn't even hit him, period. I think he was over range with the I thought he had a PSO scope on. Someone else just nick his gun? No, Aussie just nicked his gun. And I think took the scope off. I could have sworn he had a PSO on it or something, but... yeah, no, he missed all those shots point blank. He's like me when I try to RC a unit, run up to a guy that's medicing, not paying attention, I pull the trigger, but my bullet just completely misses his head because Arma angles and physics? I don't know. But that was an interesting one. It was definitely an interesting one. This is round 2. I missed round 1 because I was eating dinner. So we're going to cover round 2 and round 3 tonight. Yeah, Don, we have a... you know, I'm glad you asked, Don. We actually have a command on this channel that lets you know what's going on. It's called !mission. Now you know about it, so why don't you type it in the chat now? And it tells you it's round 2. I love you, Don. I'm sorry. Yeah, good to know, right? Bloodwing paddles me? I'd love her to paddle me tonight. What just happened? All right, so Op4 is breaching this area. They saw McKee here, put some shots down at him. They just need to be throwing grenades all over this damn thing, to be honest. It's just !mission by itself. You're gonna DM her on Discord with that? All right, feel free. Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing will change. Ah, Romulus. I see you also have a bit of smart-assiest, too. Excellent. There goes Cinny, because McKee... I don't have a witty joke there. I don't know. It's a lot of camping today. A sip emote? I'll see what I can do. That was on Green Shade. And Cosma decides he's had enough with letting McKee live and decides to execute him. There's 2 dudes camping this. They're waiting for the smoke to stop billowing out because it's obscuring everyone's vision and buying green for time. Now, I don't think they have enough smoke grenades to last 9 minutes, but hey, they can try. As more Op4 reinforcements come in. It is 5 versus 7. Still could go anyone's game. I do appreciate tonight, though, how close all of the matches have been. Another close mission. Ah! And Wiki gets leaked, unfortunately, by, who is this, Chad? Nielsen. It happens. Green Shade trying to vault in here. Bald Eagle, meanwhile, can't see because of the smoke. Poe trying to look past the smoke. I can't tell you what's going on. Bald Eagle, I think, clipped his shots in the wall. Green Shade pushes in. And it wasn't a red menace that plucked the Bald Eagle. It was a green menace instead. Cosmonaut, meanwhile, breaching Dooley as both of them trade. Or it might have been Cosmonaut getting killed by Dooley and then Fist promptly fisting Dooley. Ooh. He needs to double tap Dooley, though. And as I say that, come on, Fist. Fist him! Fist him! Oh, no. And, well, Fist has been fisted instead. I've never screamed at a player to fist another player yet. That's a new one. Okay. Well, I'm going to write that timestamp down, and I'll let the internet judge me. Dooley now going ham, trying to kill Natters, but is unable to land a killing blow. And Natters is questioning what even happened. Fist has learned that it is quicker to pull out your handgun to execute someone rather than reload. The Green Shade finds out that a grenade is enough to knock out Nielsen. Is it enough to execute him? No, instead he deflects all of T4's bullets and uses a handgun to kill T4 Herb. Nielsen's woken back up. He's dead, Jim. He's dead. You can stop that now. But Nielsen gets his revenge. Okay, well, wasn't expecting that. I'm gonna try to see if I can get some cool lightsaber effects added to that clip. But, okay. Use the Force, deflect all the bullets. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Naders, I think, tried to shoot someone? I don't know, it's hard to tell. Norris is still alive. It is 3v2 now. Up4 seem to have lost the advantage. And Cine, I thought he died earlier. I guess he woke back up, but oh, he's dead, Jim. Definitely dead that time. All right, and now it's just up to Naders here. He does have a PKP, but Dooley has a PKM. And somehow gets a hit. Sir, he was behind a wall. I claim hacks. But Dooley, being the smart little cookie he is, ends the match. He doesn't kill him, though, so he might still wake back up, but I'm pretty sure that's GG. I don't see any more Op4 on the horizon. It's a nice tug of war there, and Green 4 have eventually come out on top, which I did say would more than likely happen in this scenario because of how the AO was built. So anyway, that was round 2. We'll get into round 3 later. I'm not sure when this will be officially called, but hey, feel free to stick around. If you bet Green 4, I hope you enjoy your points. There it is, won by elimination. All right. Round 3, and then I'm thinking after this I might do a little bit of mission development. So, Nader's still not waking up yet, and there it is, called and fresh. I do like how all the rounds have been tonight. They've all been very, very close. They've gone to the bottom right where it says mission time remaining, and it's always come down to a player count that you can count on your hands, which is pretty nice. So